Editing videos has never been easier than it is today, even if you've never opened a video editor before. Modern software like CapCut provides access to an impressive array of powerful tools that allow you to create professional quality videos without requiring a long learning curve. However, the sheer number of features can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially for beginners. That's why in this video, I'm going to walk you through every step of the video editing process in CapCut, explaining things clearly and simply so that by the end, you'll have the knowledge and confidence to create polished, professional videos from start to finish, regardless of your prior experience. We'll begin by covering the very basics, starting with importing clips into CapCut. Importing is the foundation of any editing project, and it's important to do it correctly so you have easy access to your footage throughout the editing process. Once your clips are in the media library, we'll move on to trimming your footage. Trimming removes unwanted parts of your clips, such as mistakes, long pauses, or unnecessary background actions, helping to keep your video concise and engaging. This might seem like a small step, but trimming properly sets the stage for smooth transitions and a more professional overall feel. After trimming, we'll start building the core structure of your video. This includes adding transitions between clips to make cuts feel seamless, inserting music and sound effects to enhance the atmosphere, and using captions to highlight important information. Audio is just as important as visuals, and learning to balance background music, narration, and effects is crucial to producing a professional quality video. Each of these steps may seem minor individually, but when combined, they significantly elevate the production value of your work. Once you're comfortable with the basics, we'll dive into more advanced techniques. This includes working with keyframes, which allow you to create dynamic motion and animations, such as zooms, pans, or movement across the screen. We'll also explore color correction, an essential step for enhancing the mood and feel of your footage. Color correction allows you to adjust brightness, contrast, saturation, and color temperature to ensure a consistent and visually appealing look across all clips. We'll also experiment with stylish effects that can transform your footage, adding cinematic or creative looks that make your video stand out. CapCut also includes AI-powered tools that can take your video creation to the next level. These include generating entire videos from text prompts, transforming static images into realistic AI-powered video clips, and removing backgrounds automatically with a single click. AI tools can save countless hours of work and open up creative possibilities you may not have thought were possible, allowing you to create professional-grade content even if you're working with limited footage or time. Along the way, I'll share practical tips and workflow tricks to make editing faster and more efficient. Small adjustments, such as organizing your media tracks, naming your clips, and utilizing keyboard shortcuts can dramatically speed up your editing process and reduce frustration. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have a complete understanding of CapCut's workspace, features, and creative potential, and you'll be equipped with the tools and knowledge to produce videos that look polished, professional, and engaging from start to finish. To get started, you'll first need to sign up for CapCut. Make sure you're getting the best available deal before proceeding. If you already have CapCut installed, you can skip this step. If not, click on the download for free option and sign up using your preferred method. You'll need to enter your email address, click continue, set a password, and complete any other personal information required. Once you've verified your email and finished your profile setup, click Open CapCut to launch the application. Upgrading to CapCut Pro unlocks a wealth of additional features, including all AI editing tools, access to thousands of templates, hundreds of millions of assets, and 100 gigabytes of cloud storage. I'll be demonstrating some pro features in this tutorial, and currently, there's an active promotion offering 7 days of CapCut Pro for free. To take advantage of this promotion, click Get Pro, complete the sign-up process, and then scroll down to download the CapCut desktop application. While CapCut does offer a web-based editor, the desktop version provides a more stable, faster, and feature-rich experience, especially for handling larger projects with multiple tracks and high-resolution footage. Once the download is complete, run the installer to set up CapCut on your computer, and we'll proceed to the next step. Once CapCut is installed, click the large blue Create Project button at the top of the interface. This will open a new project and take you directly to the main CapCut workspace. On the left side of the interface, you'll find the media panel, where all your imported footage will appear. You can either drag files directly into this window or click the import button to browse your files. At the top of the workspace, you'll notice several tabs, each controlling different aspects of your project. These tabs give you access to tools like audio, transitions, captions, effects, and more, which we'll explore in detail later. The middle panel is the player, which provides a real-time preview of your edits, allowing you to see exactly how your final video will look. On the right side, the Details panel displays key information about your selected clip, including file name, file location, aspect ratio, resolution, and frame rate. This panel is essential for keeping track of technical details, especially if you're editing multiple clips with varying settings. Finally, at the bottom of the workspace, you'll find the timeline, which is where nearly all your editing takes place. This is where you'll trim footage, layer B-roll, add music and sound effects, insert captions, apply effects, and manage the sequence of your video. Understanding the timeline and its capabilities is critical, as this is the hub for creating a polished final product. Here's a helpful tip about layouts. If you ever move something by mistake or want to adjust your workspace, go to the top right and click the Layout button. CapCut's default layout is standard, but you can switch to vertical layouts, prioritize the media panel, or highlight specific attributes such as audio levels or effects. You can reset the layout at any time to return to the default configuration, which is useful when experimenting or if your workspace becomes cluttered. Now that we understand the interface, let's import our first clip. For this tutorial, I'll begin with an overhead shot of the adventure park. Go to the media panel on the left, click the cloud icon to access your footage folder, and select the clip you want to import. If you're following along, you can download the same clips from the Google Drive link in the video description. Double-click your first clip and it will appear in the media bin. To bring the clip into your timeline, hover over it and click the blue plus icon or drag it directly onto the timeline. Now your clip is ready for editing. The first thing I like to do is zoom into the timeline because at default zoom, all clips and edits appear very small, making precise edits challenging. Hold the Control key and press the plus key or Command plus plus on a Mac to zoom in. Press multiple times to get a more detailed view. To zoom back out, hold Control and press minus. Zooming in allows you to trim, cut, and adjust clips more precisely, ensuring smooth transitions and accurate placement of B-roll, audio, and effects. Once your clip is in the timeline, you can begin trimming, splitting, and arranging your footage to tell a cohesive story. Every clip you add can be layered with audio, B-roll, captions, or effects. Learning to navigate the timeline efficiently is the key to fast and professional editing. From here, we can start building the video's structure, adjusting audio levels, and adding the first visual enhancements, which we'll cover step by step in the next sections. By mastering these initial steps, you'll have the foundation to create videos that look and feel professional while maintaining creative flexibility and control. The way I like to zoom in and out on the timeline is by holding the Control key and scrolling up or down with my mouse. Scrolling up zooms in closer, allowing you to see each frame in greater detail, while scrolling down zooms out so you can view your entire project at once. Of course, you can use whichever method feels most comfortable to you. For this video, I'll be using scrolling throughout, as it feels fast and intuitive. This is also a good time to mention that if you ever have trouble remembering keyboard shortcuts, there's a link in the description that includes a full list of every shortcut mentioned in this tutorial. You can reference it whenever needed, which makes editing much smoother, especially for longer projects. Now that our footage is in the timeline, let's briefly go over playback management in the project settings. Sometimes your clips might look slightly blurry in the player while you're editing. This is usually due to playback quality settings. To adjust it, go to the bottom right of the player and click the button labeled Full. Here you can choose a lower quality if your computer is slower or older, which helps CapCut preview the video smoothly without lag. Don't worry, this setting does not affect the final exported video. It only impacts what you see while editing. I prefer to leave mine at full so I can see everything clearly. To change the aspect ratio of your project, click the Ratio button. You can keep it original, set it to 16 by 9 for traditional widescreen videos, or switch to 9 by 16 if you're creating content for platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, or Shorts. To adjust more detailed settings for a clip, select it in the media bin and go to the details panel on the right. Click Modify, and here you can change the project name, aspect ratio, resolution, frame rate, and even the color space. I'm happy with my current settings, so I'll click Cancel. Now we're ready to start editing. The first step I want to show you is trimming clips. There are two main ways to do this. The first method is simple. Move your mouse to the beginning or end of a clip until the cursor changes, then click and drag inward to shorten the clip. You can trim from either end depending on where you want to cut. For example, if you start with a Ferris wheel overhead shot of the adventure park and zoo, you might want to remove the first few seconds to get right into the action. If you make a mistake, you can always press Ctrl plus Z to undo your changes. The second method uses the playhead. Move the playhead to the point where you want the cut to happen, then click the split button or press Ctrl plus B. The clip will split exactly where the playhead is, letting you select the unwanted portion and press Delete to remove it. I'll undo that to show another method as well. CapCut also offers a newer trimming option called the Transcript Video Editor. Click this icon in the toolbar to open it. Here, you'll see the full transcription of your clip along with areas of silence. For instance, when previewing my footage, there's a brief pause before the video starts, and the first words I say are, "All right." Let's say I want to jump straight into the script. Instead of starting with the pause, I want to begin with, "We're here today at the Adventure Park and Zoo," so the video gets right into the scene. To do this, I highlight the initial words and the silence at the top. As I highlight them in the transcription, it also reflects in the timeline below. Clicking Delete removes all unwanted footage instantly. Now, when I preview it, the video starts cleanly with the action and narration together. You can imagine how useful this feature is for editing long videos, like seminars or podcasts, where cutting silence saves a lot of time. Next, let's adjust the framing of our video. On this clip, for example, I want to slightly zoom in so viewers can get a better view of the adventure park. To do this, select the clip in the timeline, and the transform options appear in the top right. From here, you can adjust the scale, position, and rotation of your video. Scale is basically zoom. Sliding to the right zooms in closer, while sliding left zooms out. Position can be adjusted using the X and Y sliders, but I prefer clicking and dragging the clip directly in the player. As I move it, blue guides appear, showing when the video is perfectly centered horizontally, and when another guide appears, it means it's centered both horizontally and vertically. You can also rotate your clip using the rotation slider or wheel. Dragging the wheel freely rotates the video to any angle. I'll undo that change for now. For this clip, I'll set the scale to about 115% and shift the video slightly to the left. This framing keeps the main subject clear while also showing more of the adventure park and zoo in the background. The result is a more balanced shot, and it feels engaging to the viewer. Next, let's talk about working with B-roll and importing stock footage into your projects. B-roll is essential for making your videos visually engaging, as it helps illustrate the story you're telling in your narration. I'll start by importing my B-roll clips. In the media bin, I'll click the Import button, then select Clip 2, Clip 3, and Clip 4. Once I've selected all three, I'll click Open, and you'll see them appear in the media bin, ready to use. Now we want to layer the B-roll footage on top of our main narration. Clip 1 contains all of our talking head footage, so that will remain as the base layer. The B-roll is used to visually reinforce what we're saying, making the video more dynamic and enjoyable for viewers. With all three B-roll clips selected, I'll drag them above the narration track. When I release them, a new track is automatically created above the original footage. Now we have two layers. The top layer holds the B-roll, and the bottom layer contains the talking head footage. On the left side of the timeline, you can see the track controls. Clicking the lock icon will prevent that track from being edited. Clicking the eye icon hides the footage on that track, and clicking the audio icon mutes all sound on that track. For now, I want to keep the B-roll track unlocked and visible so we can adjust it freely. Let's take a closer look at the B-roll on the top track. Clip 2 is an overhead shot of the adventure park and zoo from the Ferris wheel, giving viewers a bird's-eye view of the park's layout. Clip 3 is an eagle view shot of the surrounding area, showing the adventure park and zoo in its broader setting. Clip 4 is footage from our way back home at night, with rain falling and lights reflecting on the road, which adds atmosphere toward the end of the video. We're going to layer these B-roll clips at specific points in the narration. When I first mention Adventure Park and Zoo, Clip 2 will appear. When I reference the area surrounding the park, Clip 3 will show. Toward the end, Clip 4 will appear to keep the video visually engaging and give a sense of conclusion. I'll move the playhead back to the start of the footage so we can begin placing these clips. I'll hide the B-roll track and press play on the main footage to listen for any silent sections. At about 1 minute and 19 seconds, there's a short pause. With the clip selected, I'll press Ctrl+B to split it, then delete the silent section. Moving the playhead back to the start and pressing play again ensures the narration now begins without unnecessary pauses. Here's another quick tip. Pressing the spacebar plays or pauses the video, so you don't need to keep clicking the play button. This is especially helpful when navigating and syncing B-roll. I'll move back a couple of seconds before I say Adventure Park and Zoo so we can mark the exact point for our first B-roll clip. Markers are an excellent way to keep track of key moments. Clicking the marker icon in the toolbar, or simply pressing M on the keyboard, adds a small flag on the timeline. I'll place the marker where I say Adventure Park and Zoo and double-click it to name it Clip 2 B-roll. You can also change the marker color for easy reference. Now I'll unhide the B-roll track and drag Clip 2 to the marker. Let's preview it. The overhead shot of the park now appears exactly when I mention the location, making the narration more engaging. Next, we'll mark the point where the eagle view clip should appear. I'll play the footage and press M as soon as I mention the surrounding area. Double-click the new marker and name it Clip 3. Then I'll drag Clip 3 so that it snaps to the marker. I'll adjust its endpoint so the duration feels natural, shortening it from 5 seconds and 26 frames to around 2 seconds and 20 frames. This ensures the B-roll matches the narration rhythm perfectly. Previewing it shows a smooth transition. The eagle view shot highlights the park's location without lingering too long. Finally, toward the end, we'll place Clip 4, the rainy way back home shot, to add atmosphere and give the video a satisfying sense of closure. Layering B-roll in this way keeps your video visually interesting and ensures the viewer stays engaged from start to finish. Now that Clips 2 and 3 are in place, let's preview the rest of Clip 1 to find a natural spot for Clip 4. I think the moment I say, "So we're going to go around the zoo today," is perfect for adding Clip 4. It gives a smooth transition from the introductory footage to a new visual perspective. I'll move back on the timeline and get ready to place a marker. Now I'll drag Clip 4, the way back home rainy shot, to the marker. I'll shorten it down to around 3 seconds to keep the pacing tight and engaging. Let's preview. That looks good. Clip 4 adds visual variety and keeps the video dynamic without overwhelming the narration. Before moving on to stock footage, there's something subtle about Clip 4 that I want to fix. If you watch it closely, the pan movement doesn't start immediately. The first part of the clip just sits there without motion. You might think you need to adjust the clip's placement on the timeline, but there's a faster way. Simply right-click on the clip and select Trim Clip. Then drag the small trimming box to the point where the camera actually begins moving. I'll adjust it so the clip starts exactly when the pan begins. Once done, click Replace Clip. Now when I preview the footage, the movement feels smooth and starts naturally, giving the viewer a more professional experience. Clip 2 has the same issue. The overhead Ferris wheel shot lingers before motion starts. I'll right-click, select Trim Clip, and drag it to the point where the rotation and movement actually happen. Clicking Replace Clip updates it, and previewing the footage shows the motion starting immediately. Small adjustments like these make your edits look polished. Next, let's talk about adding stock footage to your project. CapCut has a built-in stock library, accessible from the left-hand side by clicking Library. This is extremely convenient because, unlike other editors, you don't need to leave the program to download stock clips. You can search, preview, and place clips directly on your timeline. Since this is an adventure park and zoo tour, I'll type zoo and press enter. Scrolling through, I find a clip of a tiger that fits perfectly. I'll drag it into the timeline, placing it after clip 4 so it doesn't interfere with the edits we've already made. Looking at the timeline, there's an empty spot between clips 3 and 4. Listening to the audio. I decide this is the ideal moment for the stock footage. I'll place a marker right when I say 1700 to mark the precise timing. The stock clip is 20 seconds and 9 frames long, which is too long for this spot. I'll trim it by moving the playhead to the beginning and pressing Ctrl+B, then about 1 second forward and pressing Ctrl+B again. I'll delete the extra sections and drag the remaining portion to the marker. Perfect. The stock footage enhances the narration without slowing the pace. Finally, we're ready to add more clips to complete the video. I'll go to Import in the top left, click Import, and select clips 5 through 10. With them imported into the media bin, we'll hold off on adding most for now. For the next step, I'll take clip 5 and place it directly after clip 1, ensuring a smooth continuation of the story. Clip 5 shows me walking through the zoo at night. It's a bit shaky because I'm holding my phone and not using a gimbal, so you can see the movement as I preview the clip. Fortunately, CapCut makes it easy to stabilize shaky footage and make it look much smoother. On the right-hand side of the interface, you'll see the Stabilize option. I'll click the checkbox next to it, and CapCut immediately begins analyzing and stabilizing the clip. You can see it processing now, which may take a few moments depending on your system. Once the stabilization process is complete, I'll preview the clip again from the beginning, and it already looks much more polished. The shaky movement is reduced, and the footage feels much more professional. The clip is still a little too long though, so I'll trim a few seconds off the end, and I'll also trim a small portion from the beginning. Now we have a clean walking at night shot that works perfectly as we move through the zoo before reaching the first animal exhibits. One last thing to note about stabilization is that you can adjust the strength if needed. Scroll down in the Stabilize menu, and you'll see options such as Recommended, Minimum Cut, or Most Stable. Each option affects how much smoothing is applied. I recommend testing each one to see which works best for your footage, as sometimes too much stabilization can create slightly unnatural movement. Now going back to clip 5, the walking footage feels a little slow. To make the video feel more dynamic, we can increase the playback speed. At the top of the interface, click on Speed. CapCut gives you two main options here. You can use the slider to increase or decrease the speed manually, or you can set an exact duration for the clip. In my case, I'll move the slider to about 1.15. You'll see on the timeline that it now reads 1.15x, which means the clip plays slightly faster. Previewing the footage now, you'll notice that the walkthrough moves a bit more quickly, keeping the energy up. If you prefer, you can also set a specific duration. For example, if this clip needed to last exactly 1.5 seconds, you could click the drop-down, set the duration, and CapCut automatically adjusts the speed to match. I'll leave mine at 1.15x because it feels natural and maintains the pacing of the tour. Next, let's add some animations and transitions to make the footage flow smoothly. Right now, between clip 1 and clip 5, there's a hard cut, which feels abrupt. To fix this, go to the top and click on the Transitions button. You'll find a wide variety of transitions you can use to create a more professional look. For this example, I'll use Slice Reveal. To apply it, drag the transition between the two clips and release it. Press play and you'll see a smooth slice effect that replaces the sharp cut. If you want to adjust the speed of the transition, select it, and the Transition Parameters panel will appear. You can change the duration from 0.9 seconds to something faster or slower, depending on your preference. I'll leave it at 0.9 because it feels natural. Now let's talk about animations, which are different from transitions. Transitions only work between two clips, while animations are applied to individual clips. I'll click on Clip 4 and then click Animation. You'll see three options: In Animations, Out Animations, and Combo Animations. I'll start with an In animation at the beginning of the clip. I'll choose Zoom 1. Pressing play shows the clip zooming in smoothly, which looks great, but once it ends, the video cuts back to the next scene immediately. To make the exit just as smooth, click out and choose Blur Out. Now the clip exits with a sleek swoosh effect, giving the edit a polished feel. You can adjust the duration of both in and out animations by dragging the sliders left or right, which helps match the timing to your footage perfectly. Combo animations combine both in and out effects, but I personally don't use them often because they can be harder to control. Feel free to experiment, but I recommend sticking with separate in and out animations for precise editing. Finally, let's add the rest of our imported clips. We have clips 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Clips 6 through 9 are the animals: a koala hanging on a tree, a tiger in a cage, goats, and a monkey sitting in a cage. While clip 10 is an overhead drone shot of the Ferris wheel. I'll click on clip 6, then hold Control and click on 7, 8, 9, and 10. With all of them selected, I'll drag them into track 1 alongside the rest of the clips in Release. Now all of our footage is in the timeline, ready for trimming, transitions, animations, and any further adjustments we want to make. So to better see what's going on, I'm going to click the eyeball icon on our B-roll track. This temporarily hides all the footage on that track, allowing me to clearly focus on the talking head clip underneath. Being able to hide B-roll like this is incredibly useful because it lets you precisely see where your narration starts and ends without any visual distractions. I'll go to the beginning of clip 9, which features the monkey in the cage, and use the waveform technique we learned earlier to locate silent sections. Zooming in on the timeline, you can see the waveform starts off almost flat, indicating silence, and then suddenly rises. This tells me that the speaking starts right around this point. I'll move my playhead there, click on the clip to select it, press Ctrl+B on my keyboard to split it, and delete the silence at the start. Next, I'll zoom out and repeat the process on the back end. Looking at the waveform, it appears the talking ends around this spot. I'll click the clip again, press Ctrl+B, and delete the silence at the end. To get a full view of the timeline, I'll hold Control and scroll down to zoom out. This gives me a better overview of all the clips we're working with. Let's preview clip 9 and see what's happening in the background. Now I'll unhide the B-roll track by clicking the eyeball icon again. I'm going to quickly organize the animal clips while talking about them in clip 9. If you're following along with the Google Drive files, feel free to arrange the clips however you think works best. I'm going to shorten clip 6, the koala, clip 7, the tiger, clip 8, the goats, and clip 9, the monkey, and spread them evenly throughout this section of the video. The goal is to make the visuals match the narration, so the audience's attention naturally follows the information being presented. Now the video is nicely organized. At this point, the main editing and B-roll placement is essentially complete. If this were a professional project, I might add a few more transitions, subtle animations, or adjust the pacing slightly. But for this tutorial, this layout works perfectly. Next, let's talk about adding stock music and sound effects to make the project feel more lively. To access the stock music library, click on Audio at the top of the interface. This opens CapCut's full stock music library. You can preview any track by clicking the album cover, which plays a short sample. I'll select one that fits the zoo environment and drag it into the timeline, placing it underneath the video to create a new audio track. You'll notice that the music peaks a little too high initially, which means it's too loud compared to the narration. I'll go to the top right and adjust the volume down to -15 decibels. Moving my playhead back to the beginning and pressing play, the music now sits nicely under the narration without overpowering it. Clip 1's audio is still a bit prominent, so I'll further refine it by enabling normalized loudness and turning on reduced noise under the audio tab. Previewing the clip now, the difference is clear. The background music is audible but not distracting, the wind noise is minimized, and the overall audio sounds clean and professional. CapCut also includes sound effects, which can add depth to your video. Click on Sound Effects in the bottom left to access this library. Since this is a zoo project, I'll search for zoo. One example is zoo environmental sound. Previewing it, you can hear the subtle ambiance, which works well behind animal B-roll clips. You can drag any sound effect directly into your timeline, positioning it wherever it fits naturally. Finally, let's explore a more advanced but beginner-friendly feature called audio ducking. Let's go back to the timeline and find clip 5, the nighttime walking footage. At this point, I want the background music to be slightly louder since there's no speaking during this segment. I'll click on the background music track, move the playhead to the spot where the transition occurs, and add a keyframe. In the top right under Volume, click the small diamond icon to create a keyframe. Think of keyframes as checkpoints. By adding one here, I'm telling CapCut that at this exact moment, the volume should remain at -15 decibels. Later, I can add additional keyframes to gradually adjust the volume up or down for smoother audio transitions. The goal here is to make the audio get louder during sections where there's no talking, and for that, we need to use a second keyframe. Let's move a little further into the timeline, around the point where the Walking at Night clip 5 transitions into the first animal clips. At this point, we could manually click Add Keyframe again, but there's a quicker method. Simply adjust the volume slider to make the music louder, and CapCut automatically creates a new keyframe at that exact point. You'll notice it appear on the music track as a small diamond. Now, between the first keyframe and the second one, the audio gradually increases in volume, creating a smooth fade-in effect that enhances the energy of the scene. To review, we now have two checkpoints. The first keyframe sets the volume at -15 decibels, and the second keyframe sets it at 0 decibels to make the music louder. Between these 2 points, the software automatically animates the volume, gradually increasing it in real time. You can even scrub through the timeline to watch this change visually. That's really all you need to know about keyframes for audio. They're simple and intuitive, just a way to set different values at different points. Now let's press play and listen to how it sounds when clip 6, the koala on the tree, begins. Right now, the music slightly competes with my voice, and it's harder to hear the narration clearly. To fix this, we'll use audio ducking with keyframes. This essentially reverses what we just did for the fade-in, animating the volume down so the voice comes through more prominently. In the timeline, I'll go to the moment where my speaking begins in clip 6. Slightly before that point, I'll click on the music track and add a keyframe at 0 decibels. Then, just a few seconds later, as the narration continues, I'll reduce the volume back down to -15 decibels. You'll notice the curve on the audio track reflects the change between the two keyframes, creating a natural fade-out for the background music. Let's preview it. Perfect. The background music now sits nicely under my voice. You can repeat this process throughout the project. Whenever there's a gap in narration, raise the volume using keyframes and bring it down whenever someone is speaking. But keyframes aren't just for audio, they can animate video as well. Let's try that next. I'll press Ctrl and scroll down to zoom out of the timeline. Then move the playhead to clip 3, the eagle view footage. Here I want to create a subtle zoom effect to make the clip more dynamic. I'll click the clip, then on scale, press the keyframe button. I'll do the same for position, so we can also slightly adjust the framing. Now I'll move the playhead further into the clip, increasing scale from 100% to about 115%, and slightly drag the position to frame the tiger perfectly. Zooming into the timeline, you can see the two keyframes we just set. If the first keyframe isn't at the very beginning, the zoom will start late, so adjusting the distance between keyframes controls the speed of the zoom. Placing the first keyframe at the start and the second at the end of the clip creates a smooth, gradual zoom that plays throughout the shot. Next, let's add captions to the video. Back in the day, captions required manually creating text layers and typing everything out, which was time-consuming. With CapCut, you can generate captions automatically. Click on Captions at the top. Here you can select the spoken language, enable bilingual captions, and even identify filler words. Clicking Generate instantly creates captions for your video, saving a huge amount of time. After a moment, you'll see a new track appear on the timeline where all captions are stored. Automatic captions are convenient, but sometimes imperfect. For instance, if one caption says, "It's home to over 17 animals from around the world," which isn't accurate, you can then correct it to 1,700 animals. To fix it, double-click the text in the timeline and edit it. On the right-hand panel, you can also change fonts, font size, text patterns, capitalization, colors, and more. I like yellow captions, so I'll select the yellow preset. CapCut also offers animated caption templates. Clicking templates gives you options like animated captions for portrait-oriented videos, bubble effects, and more. For this tutorial, I'll stick with the yellow preset without animation, although you can experiment with bounce out, spring, or color overlay effects. Sometimes animations struggle with custom edits, like when you correct numbers, so leaving captions static can be simpler for clarity. If you want to add custom text instead of using CapCut's auto-generated captions, the software makes this process remarkably easy and intuitive, even for beginners. To start, go to the top left of your workspace and click on the text button. This opens the text panel where you can see several options, including preset styles, default text layers, and AI-generated text options. For now, we'll focus on adding a simple custom text layer. Drag the default text option onto your timeline on a new track above your video footage. This creates a text layer that you can fully edit and position wherever you like. For example, let's place custom text over clip 3, which includes the broader view of the park. I want to add a clear location marker for viewers, so I'll change the text to say, Waco, Texas. This immediately gives your audience context and helps establish the setting for the video. Next, scroll down in the text panel to explore the preset styles. CapCut provides a variety of options here, including different fonts, sizes, background shapes, and text colors. I'll pick a style with a background in black text, which ensures the text is legible against the bright lights and colorful scenery in the shot. Once the text is added, it's important to resize and reposition it to ensure it doesn't obstruct key visual elements. I'll move it to the right of the scene so it's clearly visible, but not distracting from the main action. Positioning text correctly is critical, especially when you're layering multiple tracks like captions, stickers, or B-roll. For animation, I'll select Fade In for the in animation, so the text pops onto the screen naturally, drawing the viewer's attention at the right moment. For the out animation, I'll choose Fade Out, which ensures the text disappears smoothly as the narration moves on. This combination creates a professional, polished look, and it makes the video feel much more dynamic and visually engaging. Next, let's move on to basic color correction, which is crucial for giving your footage a consistent and polished appearance. I'll go to the beginning of clip 1, which is our initial footage. These type of shots can be tricky because they often appear darker, grainy, or flat depending on your camera settings. Click on Adjust in the top right corner of the screen, and you'll see a variety of color correction tools, including white balance, color temperature, saturation, exposure, and contrast. I'll make subtle changes to each of these settings, lowering brightness to match the natural darkness of the scene, and adjusting color temperature to balance the cool or warm tones. You can also fine-tune saturation and exposure to bring out details without making the image look unnatural. Once satisfied with these adjustments, click Apply to All, which ensures that the same color correction is applied consistently across every clip on your timeline. Consistency is key because mismatched colors between clips can make your video look amateurish. If you want to explore more creative options, click on Filters at the top of the panel. Here, you'll find a wide range of presets designed to give your footage a unique look. For example, the Bad Bunny filter creates a vibrant, cinematic style with a punchy contrast in bold colors. Dragging it onto a clip instantly shows you the effect in the preview. If it doesn't fit your vision, simply press Ctrl+C to undo the filter and return to your original color settings. Another exciting feature in CapCut is stickers. Click the Stickers button at the top to browse hundreds of free options. Stickers can add humor, emphasis, or stylistic flair to your videos. Let's go to the part of clip 6 where I talk about giraffes sleeping only 5 to 30 minutes a day. To visually emphasize this fact, I'll search for a sleep sticker in the library. Hovering over each option shows whether it's animated, which is particularly useful for creating dynamic visuals. I'll pick an animated sticker and drag it onto a new track above the captions. Once it's in place, I'll scale it down so it's proportionate to the video, rotate it using the handle if necessary, and position it neatly near the corner above the captions so it doesn't obstruct other elements. Then I'll click Animation, set Fade In for the start, and Fade Out for the end. This ensures the sticker appears at exactly the right moment in the narration and disappears naturally as the scene progresses. Expanding the stickers panel on the left, you'll see AI-generated options. This is a powerful feature that allows you to create custom stickers from scratch. If none of the pre-built stickers match your scene, simply type a descriptive prompt into the AI tool, and CapCut will generate a sticker for you automatically. This opens up endless possibilities for adding personalized, dynamic elements to your videos. Speaking of AI, CapCut provides an extensive suite of AI-powered tools that can dramatically improve your footage with minimal effort. First, there's Enhance Image. Select Clip 6, go to Video, scroll down to Enhance Image, and CapCut will automatically boost the video quality. Even low-resolution footage, such as clips shot on older phones or in low light, can appear sharper and more detailed. AI Expand can increase the frame size to fit larger aspect ratios without losing quality. AI Remove lets you erase unwanted background elements seamlessly, while Eye Contact adjusts your gaze toward the camera for more engaging footage. Relight improves lighting in the scene. Auto Reframe keeps subjects centered, and Remove Flickers or Motion Blur cleans up shaky or inconsistent footage. Remove BG functions like a green screen, automatically tracking and removing the background as you move through the frame. Retouch applies virtual makeup, and AI Stylize can transform your footage into artistic styles, including anime, comic, or surreal looks. Press Ctrl+S regularly to save your progress as you experiment. Click the X in the AI panel to access even more tools, including a video translator, automatic shorts creation, script-to-video, and AI image generation. Within AI Media, select AI Image or AI Video. Use a descriptive prompt, optionally add a reference image, pick a model, Nano Banana Pro for realistic visuals or Seedream 4.5 for text posters, and set your desired aspect ratio, 16:9 for horizontal content or 9:16 for vertical content. Next, let's dive into AI Video, which is particularly exciting. You can choose between image to video or text to video. I'll use image to video this time. Click Import Image, select a reference file called AI Generation Reference Image, and upload it. Once uploaded, type a prompt describing exactly what you want. Next, choose the model VEO 3.1, which is designed for smooth, realistic motion in a natural style. Keep duration to 8 seconds, and aspect ratio 16:9. This generation uses about 300 credits per clip, and I have that much credits available on my Pro plan. Click Generate and wait while CapCut creates the AI video. Once the clip is ready, I'll drag it to the end of my timeline. Press play to preview. It aligns with the reference image perfectly, showing a natural motion. Because the timeline can get cluttered after closing and reopening a project, scroll to locate your B-roll and captions tracks. Drag the AI-generated clip up onto the B-roll track, ensuring it layers correctly for the final composition. This AI-generated B-roll can replace footage that was missing or imperfect, providing flexibility to keep your narration seamless and visually engaging. This feature is particularly useful for scenarios where you only have a still photo, low-quality footage, or gaps in your B-roll. By generating video from an image, you can create motion, movement, and visual interest without reshooting content, saving both time and resources. Scaling the clip to fill the frame ensures it integrates naturally with your existing footage. Once in place, you can adjust its timing, color, and animations to match the rest of your project, ensuring a consistent professional look across your video. By combining custom text, color correction, stickers, AI enhancements, and AI-generated video, CapCut provides a powerful, all-in-one editing environment that allows you to take raw footage and transform it into polished, engaging, and professional videos ready for multiple platforms. Keep in mind, because CapCut uses AI to automatically center, adjust, and enhance elements within your clips, there may occasionally be small errors or misalignments in your video. These could include slight cropping of your footage, layers not perfectly lining up with your narration, or timing issues between audio, captions, and visual elements. This is completely normal, especially when you are working with AI-generated clips or automatically generated captions. That's why it's always a good idea to carefully review your entire project before publishing. Take the time to scrub through the timeline, frame by frame if necessary, to catch any mistakes and make precise adjustments. This review process might feel tedious, but it is the difference between a good video and a truly polished professional one. While reviewing, pay close attention to the placement of AI-generated clips. For instance, if a generated clip looks slightly off-center, you can simply click on it in the timeline and adjust its scale or position manually in the preview window. Similarly, you may notice that some captions do not match your speech perfectly. In that case, double-click the caption layer, correct the text, and adjust its timing to align exactly with your spoken words. This ensures your audience can read and understand the captions without being distracted. Stickers and animations also deserve a second glance. Sometimes they may overlap with key elements in your footage, or their timing might need a slight adjustment so they appear or disappear exactly when you want. By refining these layers, you can make your video look intentional, engaging, and professionally crafted. Before exporting, there's one more important step I always like to do, and that's creating a custom cover. To do this, I'll click on Edit Cover. A slider appears letting me scrub through the video and choose the exact frame I want to use as my thumbnail. This is really useful because the right frame can instantly grab attention. Once I find a frame that looks clean and visually appealing, I'll click Edit, and CapCut opens up a mini design studio right inside the app. Here I have a lot of creative freedom. I can choose from ready-made templates, upload my own images, add custom text, shapes, stickers, frames, collages, or even apply a brand kit if I'm working on consistent content for a channel. To save time, I'll pick one of the built-in templates. I like this one, so I'll click on it. From here, I'll customize the text. I'll change the main title to Zoo Vlog, add with shacks underneath it, and remove any extra text that doesn't add value. I'll also make sure everything is centered, readable, and visually balanced, so it looks good even at a small size. All right, so there we go. We've got our final cover, Zoo Vlog with shacks. Once I'm happy with how it looks, I'll click Save, and CapCut automatically applies this thumbnail to the project. Now when I click Export, CapCut will export both the finished video and the custom thumbnail together, which saves a lot of time. I'll go ahead and click Export and let CapCut process everything in the background. And just like that, our video is complete. CapCut also gives you the option to directly share your video to platforms like TikTok and YouTube, which is incredibly convenient. On top of that, it can automatically generate a TikTok-sized vertical version of your video, making it much easier to repurpose your content across different platforms without starting from scratch. One thing to keep in mind is that when AI tools are used to analyze your footage, especially for reframing and centering, there can sometimes be small mistakes. Elements might not be perfectly aligned, or framing might feel slightly off in certain shots. That's why I always recommend doing a quick manual check and making small adjustments to ensure everything looks exactly how you want it. Now, looking at our finished project, we've turned raw clips into a complete, polished video, an absolute masterpiece from Shax's day at the zoo. From trimming and audio balancing to captions, animations, stickers, AI video generation, and exporting, you now have a full understanding of how CapCut works from start to finish. In addition to the technical skills, this tutorial also highlights the importance of storytelling in video editing. Every B-roll clip, caption, animation, or sticker should serve a purpose and enhance the narrative rather than distract from it. By placing clips exactly where the narration mentions animals or exhibits and timing captions to match your voice, you ensure that viewers can follow along intuitively. Animations and stickers add a playful touch, making the video more engaging without feeling gimmicky. Just keep in mind that AI may occasionally misplace elements during this auto-generation, so a quick manual check and adjustment of captions, stickers, and framing is always a good idea. So there you have it. From start to finish, you've created a complete, professional quality zoo vlog. Every technique covered in this tutorial, from trimming and layering B-roll, stabilizing and speeding up footage, adding captions, stickers, animations, and transitions, to leveraging CapCut's AI features for image-to-video generation, contributes to a polished, engaging final product. By practicing these steps, you can now confidently tackle any video project, whether it's a vlog, tutorial, social media content, or even longer-form storytelling projects. I hope this tutorial gave you the confidence and knowledge to explore CapCut fully and create videos that are both creative and professional. With the tools and techniques you've learned, the possibilities are endless. Thank you for following along, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring advanced editing techniques and creative workflows to elevate your content even further.